Welcome to the ServiceNow Start YouTube, go-to destination for all things ServiceNow. Whether you are a seasoned IT professional or just diving into the world of enterprise solutions, we have got you covered. From tutorials and tips to the latest updates and innovations, join us on this journey to master ServiceNow. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss.
Imagine your CMDB could think, reason, and evolve with your infrastructure. Now it can.
Welcome to ServiceNowStar.
In this session, we're breaking down how to ingest, normalize, and enrich data in your ServiceNow CMDB using the greatest and latest features in the Yokohama release.
Your CMDB is the foundation for incident, problem, change, asset, and beyond. But a foundation is only solid if it is complete, accurate, and also trustworthy.
Let's dive in.
In Yokohama, ServiceNow continue to improve data ingestion, visualization, and also reconciliation. The CMDB workspace now offer a streamlined UI, better health monitoring, and updated automation option for ingestion. There are three pillars of CMDB success still hold. First one is completeness,
Second one is correctness.
and the third one is compliance.
Now let's go tool by tool. Discover infrastructure via IP ranges, servers, databases, network gear, and here are the Yokohama highlights.
Better IPv6 support,
Enhanced support for cloud-native components,
updated patterns for Azure, GCP, and VMware.
a best practice is to schedule scans post-deployment of new infra to keep your CMDB fresh.
Let me give you one use case. Your company launched a new data center in Chicago. With Discovery, you can scan the entire IP range and automatically identify maybe 10,000 or 20,000 plus assets in our networks. So one of the tips I can provide here too, you can add a post-processing script to tag discovered CIs with the Chicago data center location.
Next that we're going to take a look at is service mapping, or top-down visibility. What it does is it builds application service maps by tracing connections from user-facing services down to infrastructure.
In Yokohama Enhancements, ServiceNow added a number of improvements. One of them is the ML, the machine learning assisted mapping suggestion.
The automated business capability alignment with CD.
CSDM 4.0. Wow, that was a cool one also. And Shari, can you tell us some of the best practice one can implement?
One best practice is that you can map critical services first, like payroll, customer portals, or email systems.
Absolutely. So when you always, prioritizing is very important because you might need to work on mapping your CIs, your assets, and you could have millions and millions of assets. Always start from those critical assets like the payroll. We don't want to create an issue, right, on the payroll area because that's an important one with customer portals and any email systems that you have like servers and so on. So work on those first. And the second important one is you can use a tag-based mapping for containerization workload as well. So another important thing we can share here is a use case. Shari, would you please provide one for us?
Your payroll system is slow. Service mapping reveals that latency is coming from a back-end database tied to high 1/0 weight.
Right. So it may be tied to a database tied to a high IO weight. Okay, input output weight. If there is an input output weight, high IO, right? In that case, you gotta find and fix that. Once you find and fix that issue, your payroll system from slowness to highness is gonna go. Okay. So as you work on your service mapping, make sure to document ownerships and also service level agreement. If you have any SLA and mapped service for change management, alignment is also critical. Next up, we talk about the agent client collector, or what we call it in short, the ACC. This provide you a real-time agent best collector. All right, so now Shadi will tell us what does this do for us, the ACC, the agent client collector.
The ACC provides real-time config and usage data from endpoints using an installed agent.
Right, would you also tell us some Yokohama update that we have for ACC?
A Yokohama update that we have for this is that ACC now supports Mac OS Ventura, Windows 11, and Linux kernel 6.
There's also an integration with software asset workspace for accurate licensing tracking. For accurate licensing tracking, that's also an additional update that ServiceNow added in the Yokohama release. So if you haven't yet upgraded your instance to Yokohama, this is the time to get such benefits. And when it comes to sharing best practice in ACC or Agent Client Collector, always make sure to use ACC for remote workforce visibility, especially on post-COVID era.
A use case is imagine you manage 5,000 hybrid employees. ACC tracks CPU usage, installed apps, and patch status,
Okay.
helping you flag underused or unlicensed software.
Interesting. Make sure your ACC support offline catching, and also even disconnect the laptop report back once online. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost there. We're going to talk about now the Service Graph Connector, my favorite Service Graph Connector. We're going to go ahead and talk about the Service Graph Connector SGC pre-built integration. All right, Shadi, tell us a little bit about what this Service Graph Connector really is.
It imports CI data from external tools like AWS, Azure, Intune, JMF, and SCCM.
Exactly. So it's really help you to import CIs from these different kind of external tools. Your client might have their CI in different area, their assets in different environment. Then you can use, if they have Service Graph Connector, make sure to use the Service Graph Connector to get the CIs imported into the ServiceNow CMDB. And there are a lot of improvements in the Yokohama. A few of them here is there's a new connection for Datadog, and also Snowflake and Atlassian Cloud. ServiceNow is really adding these different kind of database tools where the connection is established using the Service Graph Connector, and these are the three that are added in Yokohama: Datadog, Snowflake, and also Atlassian Cloud. How about enhanced rate limiting? Yes, absolutely. In Yokohama, you have got the enhanced rate limiting support for large-scale imports as well.
A best practice is to turn off the default scheduled import. You can use custom schedules and filters to bring only required CLs.
Exactly. So these the default scheduled import, they might bring all the CIs, right, without filtering. So you have to make sure you close those and then add some custom schedules. Make necessary update to those custom schedules so that you can filter what is really important and what you need to bring in, because always client might have multiple source of CMDB. All right.
From our experience, what works best is if you can turn off the default scheduled import. You can also use custom schedules and filters to bring only your required CIs.
This is because the default schedule import might bring in unnecessary CIs, or it might bring in every CI that you have in your external repository. So because of that, you turn off the default one, or you can actually copy the default one, make necessary change to the one you copy, okay, to the custom one, and then from there make necessary filters to bring in only required CI. This is the best practice that we have seen in many Service Graph connectors, so you can apply. And just to share one use case when it comes to the Service Graph Connector,
is if you want to bring in only one cloud database instance from AWS RDS. Use filter conditions to skip EC2s and limit to DB engine equals MySQL.
Exactly. And track all connector CIs with a discovery underscore source and value. You can put like AWS-SGC for auditing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move to the last one, which is the integration. Actually, not the last, but talk about IntegrationHub ETL, which is really great with a drag and drop and normalization functionality. It really simplifies your extract, transform, and load workflows for external data source, which is the IntegrationHub ETL. In Yokohama update, we have got new
field mapping templates. And
not only that, yes, there is also a real-time preview and auto detection of schema. That is also great, ladies and gentlemen.
Some of our best practices is you can use it to enrich discovered CIs with non-discoverable attributes from HR or finance.
HR system knows who owns each laptop, and ETL pulls that data and map it to existing CIs using a serial numbers and update owner fields automatically. And the pro tip here is every time link the ETL job to the CI class model to apply correct schema mapping every time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the import set and transform map. This is the old way, by the way, old way that ServiceNow doesn't anymore recommend to import the ServiceNow CIs. But what it does, let's talk about it.
What it does, it manually imports data via CSVs or APIs and maps fields into the CMDB.
Yokohama updates contain, they are still essential for low-code flexibility. And also it adds support for our integration, REE, bypass warning, and visual data preview. Some of the best practice we can use here is always run imports through the identification and reconciliation engine, the IRE, identification reconciliation engine, to avoid any CI duplications.
A use case is, imagine your vendor sends a quarterly spreadsheet of managed firewalls. You import, match on serial number, and update the support expiry date. A pro tip is you can add a custom flag like store_vendor equals true so you can trace who updated what.
Exactly. So non-discoverable, there could be some non-discoverable data that might fill the gaps with these. So you have to add value beyond a technical config, like owners, cost centers, locations, and so on. When it comes to this one, in ServiceNow Yokohama support, there's an automated CI enhancement rule. You can apply that one. Also, make sure to create some rule-driven lookups as well from HR, finance, and also custom tables.
A best practice is you can create enrichment rules to auto-assign. For an example, you can auto-assign support groups by CI class. You can also location by subnet and owner by business unit.
Right. So as servers are discovered, lookup rules are really helpful to assign location based on IP range. Like, for example, 10.22, that's an IP range. You can put a dot and then from there a star. And if you put dash to Boston, so this is going to give you a server discovered in a given rules, based on a given rules, okay? And one of the thing you can apply also, use a data manager workspace. This is really helpful to build and visualize enrichment logics easily as well. All right, that brings us to all together, ladies and gentlemen. You can use discovery for network infrastructure to give you almost your 90% of CIs. Not only that, service mapping is something very important. You can leverage to go ahead and do any business service and also dependency to identify, and always start from the high important or high value assets, like for example the payroll, right? And you also have the ACC, which is a real-time config from user endpoint, and the service graph connector is something really important to bring in your external systems like the cloud and mobile and etc. All right, that brings us to the last point here. Thank you for joining us at the ServiceNowStar. Always make sure you use these tools together to build a CMDB that is resilient, accurate, self-updating, and also aligned to CSDM 4.0. Remember, in Yokohama, ServiceNow continue to update and streamline and protect your CMDB like never before. So make sure to update to the ServiceNow Yokohama release, which is just recently released. Thank you for tuning in.
If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe to ServiceNowStar, and drop your questions or wins in the comments below.
We are here to help you build a smarter, faster, and more connected IT system, one CI at a time. Thank you for joining us. My name is Certified Technical Architect Mohammed Rashid Kamal.
And my name is Ashadia Rashid.
Thank you.